For more, I'd like to welcome Yanghee Lee. She's a former special rapporteur on human rights in Myanmar and an academic in Seoul. Yanghee, how much public support is there for the junta?
There is really no support for the junta. If you're saying within Myanmar, the people do not support the military at all.
As we heard in the report, major opposition parties were barred from running candidates. Rebel-held territories aren't likely to vote. Is there any credibility in these elections?
Absolutely none whatsoever. There are about 330 townships in Myanmar, and elections will be carried out in 3 phases. Today, the junta announced 102 townships will be conducting elections, and just last night, 20 constituencies from phase 1, today's election, have been cancelled. And Myanmar's junta controls less than 40% of the territory. The junta has no control in thousands of village tracts within townships included in these 3 phases. And people are not really free to go and vote because there was no free campaigning. The opposition is not allowed to enter this election process. And many of the political prisoners are still in prison.
Given everything you've just said and the fact that that information, of course, is getting out into the international public, what's the point in having these elections at all?
Well, China wants stability in Myanmar, and Min Aung Hlaing has been dying to become the president of Myanmar since the past election. And they think that this is some kind of a charade, a show that will give them legitimacy. But in actuality, it's an egregious crime committed against the civilians in Myanmar. The escalated violence in the past few days is a testimony to what the situation is in Myanmar. How can you honestly feel free to go out and vote when your neighborhood is being bombed?
Meanwhile, the civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi remains in jail, and her party is among those not participating in the elections. To what extent does her symbolic power still shape the opposition's morale and the public's perception of the legitimacy of this electoral process?
She still enjoys incredible support in terms of morale in the general public. But the younger generation, and since the people have experienced 5 years of ongoing coup, the revolutionary forces have gained more recognition by the younger generation and by the public, and they are now willing to risk everything, their lives, their livelihood, for a future of a free, fair, democratic, federal Myanmar.
Is there something here that some of us are not seeing? Will the election, by any measure, help the junta gain the global recognition it's looking for?
Well, he thinks it can, and it depends on the international community. If countries give him the legitimacy by agreeing to send in ambassadors and agreeing to meet with him and dealing with his military and the cronies, the international community is complicit to the egregious crimes that have been committed in the past 5 years, and furthermore, 70 years, during the 70 years of military rule, where there was enormous divide and rule and enormous atrocities committed against people. And let's not forget 2016 and 17, the Rohingya genocide.
That's Yanghee Lee, former special rapporteur on the situation of human rights in Myanmar. Many thanks.
Thank you.